A funny old club, Aston Villa. Never quite sure what you're going to get.
Well, the reason
you know
why...
what Randy Lerner's going to be doing? He's talking about selling the club. We know that Roy Keane has come in. Is that a good or bad thing?
Got the reputation of being a loose cannon, Roy Keane, and quite rightly for a lot of what he's done. But I think that you've got to also look back that he's got some, tremendous assets, and he had a fantastic football career as a player as well. I mean, he's the sort of player. He influenced that team that United.
So you don't think Lambert should be worried and looking over his shoulder, because we saw what he did at Sunderland.
The most important thing is, is have they got the players? And can Roy Keane, with his, because I think when you see him on TV, he tells the truth, as it is, and I think a lot of people don't like him for that. If you're a fan of a football club, and someone dives in the box and gets a penalty, and you win 1-0, and you're near the bottom, and it lifts you off the bottom of the table, you're going to go, well done.
But
as a fan, you will stick up for your player.
Yeah,
now, can Roy get the best with Paul Lambert together? So I think that is the most important thing, to get him together. So you as my coach, and me as the manager, we got that understanding. If you say something to me as a coach, and I'm the manager, I take it on board. I don't go, oh yeah, fantastic, thanks very much for that, and totally ignore you. But that's the thing about having an assistant.
Let's talk about Hull City, a side that eventually got to the FA Cup final, couldn't quite overcome Arsenal.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce, I'm looking at the list of managers here, and I expect Hull City to be in the bottom half.
Yep.
Of all the managers there, I'm thinking, he probably feels quite safe, and I'm guessing Kenny is.
I think he would be safe in the job if he still wants to be there. He'll obviously want his team to have a good start, and if they're in the bottom half, or if they're in the top half of that bottom half, he will be very, very happy. But if he has a poor start, you never know in football. You can't say anyone's really safe. The football is incredible. Okay. I mean, I think what is the second longest 4 years? Alan Pardew.
It's amazing.
He's the second, and you would never have said that.
Let's talk about Sunderland. Gus Poyet. Of course, they had a dreadful. Paolo Di Canio was their manager last year. Started the season under Paolo. Heard all sorts of rumours coming out of the club. And when Kenny, I ask you, when players start to turn against the manager, it's only going to end in tears for him.
He's got no chance. There's no chance, especially today. I mean, in my day, the manager was the boss, so you looked up to them. Very rare you would get a set of players when I was playing that would get the manager to sack. But now they have so much power, you wouldn't believe it. I know there's a story, a player dived in the box. The manager actually said he cheated. I don't like my players cheating. He said, I'm going to talk to my player. On Monday morning, the player was in his office at the training ground. The player come in, he sat down and he said, boss, you're out of order. You should stick up for me. And the fans booed the manager. That's how much power they got.
Tony Pulis, manager of the year last season, done a remarkable job to turn them around. You might be able to tell us the odds they were to go down at that stage. They were rooted bottom. I think 6 or 7 points off safety at that particular time.
Well, I know that at the time the most incredible thing was that the bet that you wish you'd had was the 100-to-1 on both Crystal Palace and Sunderland staying up. But with regard to Pulis, that you did overachieve. It was a fantastic performance, and you'd have to think that Palace will look now at the beginning of the season and say, what's your plan for the season? It's got to be, like Hull, like a lot of these other clubs, primary objective, stay in the Premier League. Yep. Anything else, have a good cup run, will be a bonus.
Mark Hughes got his style of play across and actually finished quite comfortably.
He'd really made sure that the Britannia Stadium is like a fortress. Players do not like going to the Britannia Stadium.
The home record is remarkable.
The home record is tremendous. The atmosphere is really electric at Stoke. Yep. It's a ground on the top of it's one of the highest grounds in the Premiership. It seems to be always cold there and windy and blustery. I mean, don't get me wrong, the welcoming is good, but that's off the field. But on the pitch, it's not a place that I think if you took a canvas of the Premier League players, which is the game that you're at least looking forward to, particularly if you played them away in February on a midwinter's night. Stoke away is one that you think, we'll get that one out of the way. It's just not a very nice place for visiting players to go, which is music to the ears of the manager.
OK, you've heard what the boys have had to say. It's your chance to have your say. Who will be the first manager to be sacked or leave his post in the Premier League? You can tweet us at Talk2Fanzone. 2 is the number 2, or you can email talk@FootballFan.zone. Get involved, or you can also post videos, blogs or articles and questions to the lads.